Um, the session will be recorded, so there will be a recording afterwards, so you can always share it with your colleagues so that they can see this on the usual website, techdataevents.be, the place where you also could register. And also a copy of the presentation, the slide deck will be provided to you as well. Okay, that will be happening later on this week, probably. So good, thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Plenty of sessions planned based on the feedback of the previous sessions earlier this year in the January and February timeframe. We got some feedback about, hey, you do an HPE Aruba update session with the portfolio and the software with Aruba Central, but what about Aruba Instant On? Well, that's a good question. And since there is so much to say about Aruba Instant On, well, we organized this dedicated session to it. Okay, so let's get started. What will we see in here? Well, Aruba Instant On is as such a wired and wireless solution, first of all, to know, because most of the people that I see, that I meet, they think that it's just, it's a wireless thingy, right? It's just for small home offices, whatever, something wireless. No, honestly, I don't think that it's just that a really small solution. Meanwhile, I have a lot of people who are using this solution, and you will see in the demo as well why you're gonna love it as well. The information in the slide deck can be found, or it's a combination of 4 different presentations. Okay, so I will show you, by the way, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you where you can find more information. Okay, so you get this presentation, but I'll show you where you can find more information. If you're a salesperson or a technical person or pre-sales or something else, whatever, I'll show you where you can find all the information. So now this one is based on the partner presentation that you can find indeed on the partner website, and also the HPE Aruba partner website. I'll show you the link later on as well in the presentation. So in the agenda, we're going to take a look at trends in the SMB market, but let it be clear that Instant On, Aruba Instant On is positioned indeed in the small and medium business market. Okay, now in the US it's small. Now small in the US is even sometimes a medium business here in Belgium. But let's take a look at the trends and the challenges. Let's take a look at the solution. There's something new with the AP22 that I'm going to show you. Something about the warranty and the support that you need to know, because these are questions that we get quite often as well. Something about the pricing, and something about the software with the demo, because I'm going to show it to you in real life. Okay. So first of all, where's the opportunity? Well, if we take a look at the numbers across the regions, we see that growth. Okay, and growth is good, of course. And I think, honestly, with the home working, with the pandemic that is still happening today, we see that a lot of people are contacting us to say, hey, I need a wireless solution which is just a little bit better than the one that we have now. Okay, because I'm going to show you an example, and I challenge you. The Wi-Fi a few years ago, when we see the number of connected devices. Okay, a few years ago, I said, well, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a laptop, maybe my PC. I have a smartphone and a tablet, but now today in a typical household already, yeah. And that's the same in companies, but everything is connected these days, right? If you have a chance to take a look at your DHCP server, which is assigning all those IP addresses in your network, well, I think today, me, wife, 2 kids, I think I am somewhere around 55, something like that, IP addresses. Okay, which is a lot, and I'll show you where they come from. When I'm going to show you, I'm going to connect live to my wireless network, because you're in home. I have Aruba and I have Aruba Instant On in parallel, just to test both of them. Yeah, I'm a little bit a geek, but hey, that's me. And so I'm going to show you all those devices that are connected, and I challenge you, do the same thing for you at home, but also at your customer, because I also have here and there some visibility on customer environments, and you will see that everyone has a laptop, and then a mobile phone, and a tablet, and some other connected devices. Today you have all those meeting room devices as well, who needs connectivity, smart displays everywhere around in the offices. They all need a connection to the network, of course, and that's why we see more and more opportunities in the SMB and also smaller enterprises markets. The next thing is that more devices, but we need also more insights in who is doing what. Because if you're doing IP telephony, maybe you want to do some quality of services. When I'm thinking about security, do you really want that, I'm going to make a Wi-Fi, a wireless SSID connection for my guests? So all the guests that come in, they have a Wi-Fi, and then they have somewhere a small paper on the wall that says, hey, here's the Wi-Fi ID, and this is the password. And then also, this is me. What I do is, on my laptop, I have just a really basic IP scanner. I connect to their wireless network, and while I am doing my presentation, I do a scan. That's not that hard. It's just clicking a button. And then you see a few minutes later, so Mr. Customer, I see that you have a 3DL380s. I see the ILO. Yep. I see that you have an old version of the ILO running on it. You have some printers who have open access. You have this and that. You have VMware, you have Windows, because through CDP and LLDP and some other discovery protocols, you can see quite a lot with those basic IP scanners, right? And then those customers, they're a little, first of all, they're surprised. How do you know? And then I challenge them, and then they start to get a little bit worried. So maybe it would be a good idea to have separate networks for your production network and your customer or your client network, and then your customer guest network. Well, these are all basic things that you can do really easily also in the Instant On. You can get that landing page with some publicity on there if you would like that, with your logo. So all these things are in there, which you cannot do with the cheaper Wi-Fi solutions that you can find everywhere on the market, of course. Or maybe you can do it, but it will need some time and some knowledge to configure it. Well, you will see how easy it is to set up Aruba Instant On. Yeah. So it's an all-in-one solution, which makes your life easier. And here you see some more challenges, right? So we see more and more communications going over the internet. We see definitely more devices. We want to spend less time in there, because permanently, if I take a look at myself, I think I am more than 12 hours per day here behind my PC, behind my webcam. I'm always connected. I don't have the time to do all these other things. My Wi-Fi needs to work. And I have two kids that are 50% of their time here at home. And they need good Wi-Fi, because they have to attend all their lessons virtually online as well, right? And if there's that little glitch in that Wi-Fi, I know my daughter of 40 years old, she will be here, Dad, I lost my connection. So fix it, do something. Yeah, so I don't want that. I want always working. If they're upstairs, downstairs, in the garden, I need one Wi-Fi that always works. And this is what I'm doing with Aruba Instant On. Okay, of course, the challenges when we're talking about the business as well is it's not only on the networking, but there we see as well, like keeping up with the latest technologies. Okay, because you need to do more. Today, a company that doesn't have a mail server or secure internet or SharePoints or other places to share data and so on within their users at the office and remotely. So you got to keep up with that technology today. Plenty of solutions. Well, also here on the networking, we're going to help you. Definitely don't underestimate the security concerns. Just to give you one example, this is not really network related, but if you have customers with on-premises Exchange servers, please patch them ASAP, right? So at 11:30, when this session is finished, please download all the updates for those Exchange servers and patch them, because this is also a security concern there. So also you got to keep updating those systems on the hardware level, on the software level, on the virtualization, the hypervisor level, the application level, and also on the networking level, because also networking switches needs to be updated, right? Wired and wireless. Well, again, with Aruba Instant On, you'll see how easy it is. I challenge you, all your existing customers with their wired and wireless solutions. Well, one, do they update? Most of the time is, yeah, they don't pay me the money, so they don't update. Well, you'll see how easy it is with an Aruba Instant On as well. So to keep the network running with the fewest resources available. Okay, so there you go. These are the latest challenges. So these are numbers, by the way. These are numbers not from HPE or Aruba. These are from companies like the SMB Group, IDC, the Gartners, the Forresters in this world. These are independent companies who are asking CIOs, CEOs, architects, technical people, what are your challenges today? And I think that you will recognize these numbers, the mobile applications today. I don't know why they still call this a smartphone, because I think that less than 1% of my time I am on the phone, and 99% of the time I am doing the smart other application stuff, right? So, and it's everywhere. Yeah. So ask this. What else do we see? Of course, convergence. I think everyone heard already about convergence and hyper-convergence on server, storage, and even network market, all in one solutions. At the end, the smartphone, it's also an all-in-one solution. I don't need 20 electronical devices anymore. Everything is in there. We see more and more as a service. Okay, that's another session, by the way, about GreenLake within HPE as a service. But anyway, we see more and more as a service. And the third thing as well, probably, I assume that you heard already about it, is that today with Wi-Fi, we need, yeah, of course, more and more devices. We need more and more bandwidth with lower and lower latency. Well, we see the transition from 3G, 4G, 5G, and one day maybe even 6G. But also Wi-Fi is also upgrading with Wi-Fi 6. And well, know that within Aruba, we have already Wi-Fi 6 access points. And also in Aruba Instant On, yes, we also have a Wi-Fi 6 access point available, which we will be deploying together. So later on in this session, we're going to deploy together Wi-Fi 6 in my house. We're going to upgrade it because today I'm running on Wi-Fi 5. Well, I'll show you how easy it is to upgrade my home office Wi-Fi for me and my kids to Wi-Fi 6. Okay, so what's the solution? Well, there you go. So three things in there. First of all, I told you in the beginning, it is a wired and a wireless solution. So wired, you can see that we have switches. We have small switches. We have big switches with 8 and 24 and 48 ports without or with PoE. To give you an idea, let me take that for you. I don't know if you can see it with the artificial intelligence, but the black one at the top is Aruba, and the bottom one, the white one, is Aruba Instant On. Okay, so it's at the end, it's just the color that changes, but hold on, it's also the software inside that changes, of course. So But so we have wired switches with and without PoE. I'll show you all the differences on later slides. Then we have also, of course, a wireless solution. So we have also multiple access points. It looks something like this. It's just a little access point like you can imagine. We have outdoor, we have indoor antennas. We have also an hospitality antenna, which is something that you can place on the desk of a person. And then in that hospitality antenna, there are multiple wired connections at the bottom, 1 in and 3 out. Why could that be easy? Well, on you know, those square spaces with 2-3 people working together at shared office spaces. Well, at that moment, you have some wired connections, for instance, for a printer. You know that a printer wired works much better than a wireless connection, and also IP phones, for instance. So you have that wired connection possibility as well with those hospitality antennas as well. Of course, it's not only about the hardware, the magic also is in the software. So what's really cool is I'm going to do the demo on a web browser, because there's a portal where you can connect on from any kind of place. You just need internet connection. But what's also cool is that you have an application, which is called, what a coincidence, ARUBA Instant On. And so when you launch that application, well, you will see that it is connecting. And so now it says, yeah, to which customer do you want to connect? Because I have multiple connections from my brother and my nephew and my uncle and 2 friends of mine. So I have multiple instant on instances deployed. Well, I can manage it all through my application, and everything that you can see on this application, I will show you as well later on in my web browser. So that's the only thing. We have a single pane of glass experience, one place where I can see the hardware, the software, the networks, the clients that are connected. Do I need to update the software? Because also the firmware updates are managed. You can do this manually by clicking one button, or you can say, you know what, every Sunday evening at 10 p.m., if there is an update the firmware of those antennas. And so you don't even have to click that button. He will do it for you. And you just schedule it at a moment when there are no users or when the people are sleeping or something like that, right? You will see as well in the presentation there are software updates, of course. We are running today at version 2.2 already, and you will see that there are more and more updates coming every version that is there. We have more functionality. For instance, we added recently that topology view, so you can really see the map with more devices with the access points connected to which port, which is also cool for the documentation set for your customers. Well, you just take a screenshot of the application and there you go. You see which one is connected to which port, to which access point. You can enable it, you can disable it, and so on and so on. You can see how many devices that are connected. And this is a cool thing, because now if you have multiple access points in an office, for instance, well, you can see that the roaming is working, and that also the spread, the load is spread across multiple access points, because you will see as well that most of my clients, my connections here, you will see that are focused on one access point. So maybe I should also reposition my access points as well. This is all things that you can do. And the nice thing is you don't have to be on premises here. I can do it from everywhere. Yeah, I know from my 2 friends who are really noobs in IT. Well, I placed that Wi-Fi there. Well, I know when they're gonna call them. Hey, Bart, there's something with Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know, because I have seen that your access point lost power. So there must be something with the cabling or with the power, or you lost internet. So if they have a problem with their ISP internet provider, well, I know that before they call me, I got an alert already in that application, because also recently they added email alerting in there. So when something goes up or down, or when there's an update, or you lost internet connectivity, or you lost electricity, well, you get emails as well. So that's also really good. It makes your life easier. Now, I just added this to position Okay, where do we position Aruba Instant on? We don't see that many slides, but at the end, the only thing that I can say is up to 100 employees, 100 users. Yeah, up to there, well, you can call it at that moment a small business. Up to 100 employees, this is where we're going to position Aruba Instant on. Okay, if we go higher than that, well, this is where we're going to place the Aruba enterprise products with Aruba Central or Airwave or the virtual controllers for local management as well. Okay, so just to give you an idea, up to 100 employees, you should be okay. I told you already about Wi-Fi 6 and why you want Wi-Fi 6, because first of all, we get more and more devices that support Wi-Fi 6 that needs that lower latency, more bandwidth, more power in there. We have, of course, more and more applications, and reading your emails is not that intensive on the wireless network compared to when my daughter in the evening is watching Netflix or Disney or whatever, something that she's doing when she's calling all her friends via Zoom or Teams these days. And of course, yep, all those IoT, Internet of Things edge devices that also need a connection. Guys, you'll see I have them all in my home, and this is why I have so many IP addresses in my DHCP pool, because they all those smart devices have, or most of them have, a wireless connection. Yes, and of course, when someone is delivering a package at home, of course, I want to know who is in front of my door with my doorbell and so on, right? So this is why we need, and this is also a reason why we need to go to 5G and one day 6G as well, because of the edge, because all of those connected devices out there. And this is not only a good slide of to prove that we are generating more and more data, that we are putting more and more on all those social media cloud portals where you can place that data. So this is not only a good thing about networking, but also about storage. Because also when we're going to talk about storage, by the way, later on this month, we have an HPE storage update session as well. But also there, if I see that we are generating more and more data, I know that for 2020, this number was at 5 zettabytes. So in 2015, we had this slide, guys, in 5 years, in 2020, we will be at 5 zettabytes. Well, today we are much higher than those 5 zettabytes, and it's just going up, okay? So also not only keep on selling networks, but you will also keep on selling storage devices, of course, right? So, and this is why we need to go to Wi-Fi 6. And I can tell you, so in the portfolio, you will see the numbers in a minute, but we have that new AP22. That's the first access point in the portfolio, because there will be other models as well coming. But today, the AP22 is Wi-Fi 6 certified, multi-MIMO, OFDMA, plenty of new technologies in there to have more bandwidth, to deliver more data to all those clients that are connected. Now you will see that it's a one-touch setup. We're going to do it together in the demo. How easy it is to deploy through my web portal or through the application. It comes with a flush mount. So there's one mount that comes with it to connect it to the ceiling, but there are other models available as well to place it on the wall, or depending of the location where you want to place it. By the way, these dates are from 2020, so the model is already there for a half a year available. What's Wi-Fi 6? Well, not going to go too much into details, but it's also about it's all about wireless standards. Okay, so probably you have seen already these numbers, 802.11b and C and AC. Well, now there's a new standard called 802.11ax. which is a standard that exists already since 2018, but now it is available through the products since somewhere 2020. The products came on the market. So you get better performance, more bandwidth. It is also backwards compatible, because I know that there are still users out there which doesn't have a Wi-Fi 6 client. If I remember well, iPhone 11 and higher is Wi-Fi 6 capable. But you still have customers with older devices, also laptops. It's not always that you have the latest laptops. So yes, also Wi-Fi 5 clients who are working on the BGN or AC version, well, they are also able to connect to these access points as well, of course. Now, if we take a look at the feature set, well, a lot of things, guys. Not gonna read the slides because you get a copy. You can read it for yourself, but it's all about more intelligence inside the antenna to be future ready, of course, as well. As you can see, there's also integrated Bluetooth these days. Why is that as well? Yeah, for location finding, device onboarding, troubleshooting as well. And in the future with software, you will get more and more features with this antenna as well. You will take a look at the pricing. You might say, yeah, but probably it's expensive. Well, I'll show you later in the presentation. Yes, I'm going to talk about pricing. You will be surprised how cheap it is to deliver the best performance to your customers. Now, today, this is the portfolio. So this is how it looks like. We have an AP11, 12, and 15. So these are the Wave 2 antennas, indoor access points. So that's Wi-Fi 5. And so recently they added that AP22, which supports that 11AX Wi-Fi 6 certification. Now you see that we have the 2x2 antennas, the 3x3 antennas, the AP15. That's this one. Physically, it's just a little bit bigger because these are, actually, it gives you an idea of how big they are. And so now you can see that this is the AP15. Yes, this is the biggest one, 4x4, very good performance. But now you will see that the AP22 with Wi-Fi 6 with the 2x2 antenna is more performant. And I don't know any dates. I keep on following those update sessions from HP as well, but I assume that one day there will be a 25 antenna probably as well. I'm not sure about the 11 that there will be a 21 antenna. I'm not sure about that, but anyway, this is the typical evolution of a portfolio. So then I told you as well that there is that desk mounted access point as well. So it comes with this little foot cubicle block underneath it. So what's the difference? Well, it has at the bottom here, it has 4 Ethernet connections. So you can come in with 1 wired connection, and then you have 3 additional wired connections for IP phones, printers, whatever, something. In some places as well, it is possible to place them against the wall in a power socket. Okay, so somewhere, if you have a power socket in the wall with an Ethernet Cat5 or Cat6 cable, at that moment you would be able to place it in the wall as well. And then finally, we have the AP17. The AP17, which is Wave 2 today. So this is not Wi-Fi 6 yet, but that's an outdoor access point. Okay, so it's a little bit more ruggedized against the typical weather conditions here. So at the bottom, there is a connection here so that you just enter with that Ethernet cable, and that's it. And there's also the wall mount that comes with it. It's by default included. Okay, you just have to install it. It takes 5 minutes to have it installed, and there you go. Good. I added technical details for you because you get a copy of the slide. So you see the difference now, the difference between the number of clients that you can connect in there, the multi-MIMO, the radios that are being used, the bandwidth that is available today. So as you can see, you have that comparison just to give you an idea to do that sizing. It's also good to know the power over Ethernet requirements that you need. So as you can see with the AP22, he doesn't need that much power compared to, for instance, that AP15 antenna. This is important when we're going to do a sizing, a selection of the switches, of course, because we have switches with a certain number or more or less power over Ethernet available. So the wattage of those switches as well. So there you go, more comparisons. I added this in the slide deck. You get a copy of it just for your information. And then, like I just told you, we also have those switches. In total, we're talking about the 1930 switch line. Okay, so don't confuse it with the 1920 and the 1910 that existed as well. So ARUBA Instant On is the 1930 switch line, and in there we have 7 SKUs in total. We have an 8-port, a 24, and a 48 port switch available with or without PoE. Now, I must say that the PoE models are the most popular models because at that moment, you don't need to use those power injectors for your access points. It's really easy. You just plug it in and it works. It's a layer 2 plus managed switch because we're going to manage it remotely through the application or the web user interface, of course. So it is layer 2 plus. Yes, it supports VLANs, but that's it. And so depending of the model, you will see that we have a combination of 1 and 10 gigabit ports. So you will see also we have, depending of the model, we have RJ45, or in the higher models, we have those SFP plus ports available as well for fiber connectivity for a longer distance, depending of the local situation of where you want to place them, of course. Okay. I'm just checking in the Q&A. I don't see any questions coming, so I keep on going. What's in there? Application-based management. I'm going to show you in a minute. We have that connectivity, plenty of configurations that you can set in there. Yes, it supports ACLs. Yes, it supports VLANs for enhanced security. There are some basic settings like ARP and DHCP snooping for some additional security announcements. I must say, with the software updates, they added always newer versions. I'm going to show you, by the way, in a minute where you can find all the details about all these updates as well. Now, I have a dedicated slide about it, but you will see as well that there is that limited lifetime warranty. So now by default, I have another slide about it. So we have that 1 year full warranty with it, and then you know how it goes at that limited lifetime warranty. I have a detail more on the other slides, but yes, there is a 24/7 phone and chat support available as well. And for me, very important is that Instant On community. If you know Aruba, they have that Airheads community. Well, also here, they want to play very hard on that community, and I'll show you where you can find that community as well on the website. Because yes, there is a dedicated website. Okay, ArubaInstantOn.com. It's that easy. I'll show you the web pages in a minute. Okay. So we were talking about the switches. And so I told you, don't confuse yourself with the 1920 switches. Probably you know them as the Office Connect switches. Well, it's the same, but it's different. What's the same? Well, probably you can see here there is some kind of logic between the 1920 in green and then the 1930 models in orange. So there you go. So we have the non-PoE models. We have an 8 port, 24 port, and 48 gig switch available. And also in the PoE models, there are 4 models. And so there you can see we have a model with 124 watts. We have a model with 195 watts, in the 24 ports, but in the 24 ports, we have also that PoE Plus model with 370 watts. And it all depends of how many devices that you want to connect, because also IP cameras. So if you're working with IP cameras, so also today IP cameras, they can work with PoE. So there you go with the 24 ports model. You have the selection of how many watts that you want to deliver for PoE. Now in the 48 ports switch, by default, it's a 370 watt device. Okay. Those switches with the 370 watts, I can share you my experience because I have one of those switches as well. There's a little fan, so it doesn't make that much noise. It makes just a little bit of noise compared to the 8-port switch. That one is completely silent. Okay, so there's no fan in there. I have one here just behind my PC over there, really silent, no noise at all. So you can place them perfectly under a desk or somewhere where people are working. It doesn't make any noise at all. Okay. But no, for the 48 ports and even for the 24 ports, know that we have that increased power budget available as well. On those switches. I told you about that warranty, that you're sure about that. All the details we have in here. So ARUBA Instant On, you have the standard warranty. Know that there are additional support care packs available as well. Okay, so you can buy that on top of the devices. You know how it goes, foundation care. It's exactly the same like with other ARUBA and also server and storage products as well. Okay. About the pricing, these are the prices of yesterday evening. So when you go to InTouch, these are the list prices officially. Okay, and I'll show you as well where you can find them, but these are the official list prices to give you an idea. Yesterday evening, that 8-port switch was at, if I remember well, 86 euros. Yeah, the price that you're gonna pay for it to buy it, and these are the list prices. But I must say, if we take a look at these prices, this is not bad for a fully managed switch with all the features that I'm going to show you in a minute. I must say that's not bad. Yeah, I have them now everywhere. And it's really easy to configure and to deploy. Okay. So know that list prices are available. They're all, by the way, you can find them on InTouch. This one was somewhere around 160 or something like that. Don't take me on the prices. Just to give you an idea about list prices. Why do I show you? Because you're gonna compare with all the other products on the market. Well, guys, believe me, it's exactly the same thing. Yeah, it's sometimes even cheaper. If you're gonna compare really the functionality and the performance of that switch, you will see that it's most of the time really very interesting pricing, and sometimes even cheaper as well compared to other products on the market. Now, before we're going to go to the demo, I'm going to take a look at the timing, and I'm going to take a look at the Q&A. So that's good, so that we have plenty of time afterwards for the demo, and also for questions from your side. So a little bit of a recap already of why, of course. Well, you're going to love it because of the simplicity. You're gonna love the demo. It doesn't take hours to set up everything. Yeah, so it's very simple. We have that security in there. With Wi-Fi 6, we have really good performance as well. Just like with the other products, there is no hidden fee as such. So you buy the antenna, and it's all-inclusive licensing. So all the features are in there. So it's not that you have an additional license to do this and an additional license to do that. No, no hidden fees. It's all-inclusive pricing. All the features that I'm going to show you that I was talking about already is included with the antenna, with the access point, or with the switch. And of course, you know HPE, you know Aruba. They are leaders for plenty of years already. and they have their proven innovation. The community is really big. The support as well is there. So this is why you should consider Aruba Instant On if you didn't do it already, of course. Now, last, a little bit about the use cases. Where are we going to use it? Yeah, because what's a small and a medium business market? Well, I can tell you, I have seen it everywhere already. Cafes, restaurants, one day that they are allowed to get open again. Yeah, I hope it will happen really soon. So at that moment, they can deliver a great experience to deliver Wi-Fi services to their customers, because most of the time these days, the menu card is now all online as well because of the pandemic. Well, give those customers, those clients, once they're allowed to get back, give them Wi-Fi, and automatically they are redirected to your menu card. Retail, more and more examples of retail delivering Wi-Fi services as well. I told you, working from home. Yeah, now I when I'm presenting here, I don't want that my kids are eating up all the bandwidth, but also vice versa. Also, those guys, I want to keep them happy as well, so they need bandwidth as well. So you need a good wired and wireless connection. Medical offices, online learning, all we have plenty of use cases available who can benefit of this. Now, again, because I'll show you in a minute where you can find more information, but this is just to give you an idea that also for your marketing, when you go to your customers, sell, present this product, that you have a use case. So probably you have customers in retail, or you have customers working from home these days, or maybe medical offices and so on. Well, know that there is marketing material available. I'll show you where you can find it, but there is marketing material available for you. If you're a salesperson, a pre-sales, or a technical person, know that all this information is available for you to position, to sell this product to that customer, of course, right? I see a question coming in about how long do you get firmware upgrades, support services required for updates in the future? Well, that's a very good question. Well, as far as I know, no, because I don't have a support contract. I am outside that 90 days as well, but I still can have those updates. So as long as you have those devices, this fits into the limited lifetime warranty as well. So just hit the button, it will download the update. So you will just get it's all about when the device is broken, how fast will it be replaced within 24/7 or next business day, or just the default warranty? Yeah. Yes. So it's different from the higher end Aruba products. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Because there are differences. For instance, as well, I told you here, we have all-inclusive licensing. Yeah, also with the higher end or the enterprise, the real Aruba, not real because this is real Aruba as well, but the enterprise Aruba products, there you also have for Aruba Central, for instance, you have that device license and then that service license, which is, by the way, it's going to change as well in the near future. But this is something I'll advise you to come to the, when is it? It's the 27th of April. We have an Aruba networking update session. So not Instant On, but the Aruba Enterprise product. And so probably you will get more information about that one, the 27th of April. Because yes, we have plenty of other HPE update sessions planned for you as well. Okay. What's the intended lifespan of the current AP models on the Aruba portal? Well, as long as they are in the portfolio and they are not end of life, well, they will keep on working. And as long as there's support on there and there is support on those products, they will be supported in the portal, of course, as well. I don't see a reason why, since there's now Wi-Fi 6, that all the Wi-Fi 5 antennas would go away. No, they will remain there. Now, if you want to know detailed dates and so on, of course, we can always escalate it to the HPE Aruba team here in Belgium. So if you want to really have dates on paper with certainties and so on, well, I just can tell you what I heard from all those tech talks from Aruba worldwide. But if you want to know details about that, hey, I can give you the contact of Aruba Instant On, and they can give you all these kind of more detailed information as well. Of course, hey, this is just to give you an idea, introduction in Instant On. And then if you have more questions at the end of the presentation, you will find our email address. You will find my email personally. You will find my phone number. If you have any questions for sales, pre-sales, technical, whatever, we will help you. I have Danny and Peter, our dedicated account managers for HP as well. For all the non-technical stuff, well, they can help you as well to guide you where you can find all this information. Because by the way, I'll show you in a minute the website where you can find all the information. Okay. Because definitely this is already something that I want to highlight is we have all those updates. And where you can find all those updates, well, that's also back again on Arubapedia. I'll show you the link in a minute live when I'm going to share my web browser with you. But this is the place where you can find all those updates. And just to give you an idea, look, so we have at every, how much is it? Every 3-4 months, something like that. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. But at every time, 3, 4, 5 months, we have those updates. Okay. Do you have to do something? Not really, because it happens automatically. I'll show you. But now we are running today at 2.2 version. And so they added that topology map. I'm going to show it to you. Really cool is that email notification, because now I get an alert through email from one of my friends or my family when they lost internet connection or when they lost an access point. Yeah, so there's one person, a really strange cabling there, but sometimes he removes the electricity. It's with the PoE injector, and so sometimes you remove the electricity of that one. And so I know, hey, Jan, don't call me to say that Wi-Fi is bad now because you just removed the electricity of that antenna. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know. So in the past, until a few weeks ago, I had to look in the application. Well, now today, I get an email as well. Yeah, so when there's an update, when something goes wrong, when something comes online again, so you can enable it you will see as well, there are plenty of parameters where you can enable application notifications or email notifications as well. Also, 3 administrative accounts is a little bit easier because before you had 2 admin accounts. Well, I am an admin account, and of course, I also want to give an admin account to my customer so that they also can install the application and they can see their environment and only their environment. Because of course I have multiple customers that I supervise, that I manage, of my friends and my family. So I can see them all, but then I can say, hey guys, you have also an account to run that application to see how good or how bad your Wi-Fi goes. And so that was 2. Well, now they added a 3rd account. Yeah, because you have a read-only, you have an admin account and an onboarding. You can do onboarding, yes or no. So today we have those 3 accounts as well, to shared or non-shared services across those accounts. More things. Dynamic VLAN assignment, Cloudflare DNS integration to have that more secure internet DNS traffic. We can do now bandwidth limiting per network, which is a good start towards quality of service. We can segment and prioritize voice traffic, which is also, I think personally, a good thing, so that you're sure that all your phone calls, that they have the best or the guaranteed traffic compared to someone who is downloading the entire internet. And there are some more settings as well, also on PoE and so on, right? Now, I see a question coming in. What's the minimal switch specs to connect the new APs to? Well, you just need a RJ45 gigabit connection, and that's it. And preferably with PoE. If you don't have a switch with PoE, then you need a power over Ethernet injector, and that's it. The switch. If you only go for instant on APs, access points, yes, you can plug them into an Aruba switch or a Flex Fabric switch, or nobody's perfect, a Netgear or a Cisco switch, whatever. It's just an access point as another. You just need PoE and you need an internet connection. So there are not really um, specific requirements. So even when I have a Cisco switch with PoE, I plug in this access point. I just can go to my application and it will find the access point and it will deploy it. How does it work? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna get started with the demo really soon because we're almost through these slides anyway. Okay, so it happens automatically. You will see how easy it is, and there are no specific requirements of the switches. Of course, the best experience will be when that AP is connected to an instant on switch, of course, as well, because at that moment you have the end-to-end deployment and manageability and the vision of that, for instance, that topology map view. If you're going to change brands of switches, of course, at that moment, yeah, that topology map view wouldn't be consistent completely, of course, right? Good. How do we gonna manage it? So also there with the updates of the software. So this is something that I am doing. So I am the partner IT team, and you are as well the partner who are delivering services. Well, what you're gonna do now, it's perfectly possible that we have customer A with or without switches and APs for customer A, and then you have customer B and C and D and E and so on. You as a partner, you will see all those customers, but the partner itself, he can only see his only environment. Okay, why is that? Well, for that multi-site management, no extra cost. I know that with other solutions on the market that you have additional licenses for that. Well, not here. So no additional extra cost. You don't have to create 10 accounts for your 10 customers. You just create one account on the portal of Aruba Instant On, and you get a view of all your customers. I'll show you in a minute live how does it look for me. And then I have all my customers. I just click on there, and at that moment I can deploy, I can onboard those devices, even remotely. So what I can do technically is, oh, Jan, you need a new access point. Here's a box, I'll ship it to you. The only thing that you need to do is plug it in with a network cable in a switch or with a PoE port, of course, somewhere on an outlet with PoE. The switch powers on. 2 minutes later, here from my house, I can onboard that access point at any place everywhere in the world. I don't have to go physically on site to deploy that access point anymore. Yeah, and then I get that inventory view, it starts up, I need to do an update, I see clients connected to it, and so on and so on. Yeah, this is the same for switches, for wired and wireless. And so you get that 24/7 visibility everywhere, no matter where you are, you have that full view on your environment. So this is an example of that topology view. Yeah, so I'll show it to you in your web browser, but also in your application on your smartphone. So you really can see here. And when you click on there, you get more information, of course. But here you see that core switch, if I can call it like that, that has the connection to the internet. And then when you hover your mouse on there, you can see even which access point is connected to which port. And then that access point here has a meshed connection. I didn't mention it yet, but also if it's not always possible to have a physical cable to the end of the building over there, yes, mesh connectivity is also supported by So a wireless connection between two access points. So that's possible as well. Here you can see more wired connections. Here you see that hospitality device. So this one has more connections, physical connections to go further. Here we have another switch with more access points and so on and so on. And then when you click on there, you get more information. Yeah, you have a graphical view, you have a list view, and then you see, this connection is good, this connection is not so good, because you know how it goes. Green is okay, yellow is not so okay, and red is not okay at all. So also, you don't have to attend any training whatsoever. By the way, there is no Aruba Instant On training. If I give my demo, that's the training. It's that easy, right? How to deploy and maintain and update your environment. And this is one that I like a lot in 2.2, which is that when you go to the notifications, so you could get already mobile pop-ups when something happened. For instance, a connection problem, someone pulled out the cable, there's a physical hardware problem, whatever, there's a device problem, device capacity exceeded. If there are more connections, users connected than are allowed or at least supported by the antenna. And also now also about software updates. So you could get that message, that pop-up on your smartphone, but now as well, I like that one a lot because I'm not always looking at my smartphone all the time. So at that moment you get an email, and so you can say, this is good or this is not so good. And so you can enable it or disable it for the messages that you want to receive. Okay. Now, I told a lot already. I've shown you a lot of screens already. So this is why, of course, I'm gonna prefer to give a demo, because live is much better than just all these slides. And by the way, you get a copy of the slides anyway. So all the pictures are in there. Now, there is a challenge. So if you Google this, there is an Aruba Instant On challenge, yeah, worldwide. And so of how easy it is, to show how easy it is, so they challenge people to make little videos of the onboarding of an access point. And so, by the way, this is my colleague, Michael Noppe from the HPE team. He's our BDM. And I don't know if he's in the list because now I have to watch out what I'm going to say. But let's say, Michael, he's a great guy, and BDM, he's the best. But technically, I must say that he's not the biggest expert of all. Hey, everyone has his own expertise, of course. Well, I challenge you. It's on this. By the way, you get a link, a copy. I'm not gonna play the video here. I could make my life easy now and play that video. No, I'm not gonna do that. It is available. Just Google it. It's on this LinkedIn profile. And by the way, when you get a copy of the presentation, the link will be in the presentation as well. But so it's a video of 35 seconds, and he took a challenge with another colleague from Tech Data as well. And she said, you know what, we're going to test what's the fastest. Making Belgian fries. Okay, you know how easy it is to make Belgian fries. So they started with an access point, an AP. And so Michael, not technical at all, he had the application installed on his smartphone. That was the only prerequisite. He plugs in the cable. He's waiting for an alternating green and orange light on it. At that moment, it is discoverable. He opened the application. He said he just have to give it an SSID. What's the wireless name? A password. Click OK, and 35 seconds later, the AP was deployed. The wireless SSID was available while she was still making fries. So it's kind of funny video as well. So, and by the way, it's not only with making fries, there are plenty of other challenge videos on the internet available as well. The one funnier than the other, but just to show you how easy it is to deploy that instant on network. Okay, now what am I going to do is Let me take a look. Yes, I just changed the screen and I assume that now you can see my web browser that I'm showing to you. So what do I see here? There is a website called portal.arubainstanton.com. Okay, so there are two websites, by the way. There's just the traditional www.arubainstanton.com, which I'm going to show you in a minute as well. There you can find all the regular information that you might expect. And then, of course, to manage the system, or you install the application on your smartphone, or you go to portal.arubainstanton.com, and then he asks you to log in. Yeah, so that's the account that you're going to create as remember the partner IT admin account, your email address and a password. And then you come to this portal. And by the way, just to give you an idea, there you go, connect to a site. So I have 5 customers here, friends and family of mine. And so as long as they are green, they are okay. When someone pulls out the cable, this will become red. And then I just have to click on it. And then I can see here on my devices, for instance, 5 out of 6. Well, that means that there is a device that is disconnected. Now, in my case, everything is online because everything was showing green. And so really easy, I can connect to another customer and other customers to see how good or how bad and how many clients and how many connections, how many devices that they have. So now in my case, I'm going to use my environment, of course, because I have prepared here something that I can add, of course. Now, if I take a look at the interface, well, what I can see here is, I will go first, I'll go to my inventory. And so you can see that I have 2 switches, 8-port switches, here downstairs and one in the attic, because I have my some connections there to cameras and my DR server over there. And then I have 4 APs. I have 2 AP15s, so that's inside the house, one downstairs, one upstairs. And then I have 2 AP17s, just behind the house and then completely in the back of the garden as well. But that means that now me with my smartphone, laptop, whatever, my kids with their Netflix on their tablet, they can go from the attic through the house all the way down to the garden. They will have no disconnects whatsoever. So that video keeps on playing, their Zoom call, their Teams meeting, whatever, something, it will keep on working because it will roam from one to the other. And so now you can see here how many connections. So on the attic, I have 3 wireless connections. And here downstairs, I know because I have a lot of smart devices here, but I have 17 connections in here. Okay, and so now I can just open them up. Let's take a look what you can see in here. So it is an AP15. I am running at version 2.2. something 2.2.1. So the connectivity, and this is to give you an answer to your question, the minimal switch specs to connect to that AP. It can be a Cisco, it can be some third-party switch, whatever. But if you have, of course, the complete instant on experience, well, at that moment you can see here, hey, this AP is connected on this switch 8-port in my office here downstairs. This is the local network IP address. And then you can see we have the 5 gigahertz radio and the 2.4 gigahertz radio. And I can see that I have 6 clients on that one and 11 clients on that one. And the channels that I'm using with more efficiency. Hey, that channel 14% busy. That one is 1% busy. So I should be quite okay. If I'm going to take a look at a physical switch, well, you can give it a name. Back again, you can see then here the power consumption with the power budget. Yeah, so you can see how many power that you have for additional APs or IP cameras. And so now here I have more information about the connectivity. Do you want to give it a DHCP IP address or you want to give it a static IP address? Do you want to enable routing? Yes or no? If you want to create multiple networks, well, multiple networks you can see here. Then first of all, I'm going to show you the ports. So now on those ports, you can see which connections that I have. And then you can see as well on this port 1, on that cable, I know that this is my uplink because it shows you that there is that internet connection. So the management goes through that port 1, and so directly I know that this is my uplink to my internet router. Okay, or at least to another switch, to another internet router. And to give you an idea, behind that port, there's not an Aruba Instant On, but there's an Aruba, so the black model. Yeah, and this is why I don't get more information, because Instant On and Aruba Central, it's a central managed switch, they don't share this kind of information. If it would have been an Aruba Instant On, I could click on it and I would get much more information. I have 2 more ports where you can see that little flash sign in there. Well, these are ports that are using power over Ethernet. So this is a connection power over Ethernet. So you can see that this port is connected to the AP here downstairs in the living room, because you can see as well now all the clients that are connected to it. So my laptop and the iPhone of my my son, and the thermostat in the bathroom, and I have another device and my doorbell, and so you can see really even my Apple Watch is connected to it, and my Lightning, which is Wi-Fi connected. So you see there's a lot of connections in there, all through this port. And then I have another port here with power over Ethernet. He doesn't recognize it because this is an IP camera. Okay, so this is an IP cam which is connected over 100 megabit, and you can see as well how many data that is on there, up, down, power utilization. I can secure it, I can do VLAN tagging, so I can select per port which networks that it will be configured on, and so on. So talking about the network, so here you get more information. So now the U means that these are all untagged ports. So I'm not using VLANs in my network, but here you could see under ports, I could say that, for instance, this port, this device needs to be tagged, or maybe it has access only to that specific network or that specific VLAN. Okay. Link aggregation, yep, you can do link aggregation as well if you want to have more bandwidth to your, I don't know, Synology or whatever other device that has multiple network ports behind it. Link aggregation is supported. And then finally, as well, about the actions, well, you can restart it remotely. You can switch to local management. At that moment, it goes out of the Aruba Instant On experience, and then it becomes like an Aruba traditional access point with a local virtual controller in there. So technically it's possible. I don't see a use case, but technically it is possible. And of course you can remove it from the inventory as well. It becomes back again, back to defaults, and then you can add it maybe in another location or for another customer, right? So this is what you can see in the devices list, and this is what you can do in the topology list. So what I see here is, so in total I have one switch here, I have another switch in the attic. At the attic I have an access point AP15 with 3 connected clients. On this one I have one with 16 connected clients meanwhile, and then I have 2 other APs. But since this switch is an Aruba switch and not Aruba Instant On, because I need to give demos with Aruba Central as well. So that one, that's my core switch. That one is managed by Aruba Central. That's one of my requested features, that they integrate Aruba Central with Instant On. I don't know that it will happen because it's really enterprise with an SMB market product. I don't know it will happen, but that would be cool because it gives me a better experience in here. Okay. Now let's take a quick look then at the clients. So because you saw the devices, well, this is now a view on my devices. And so you can see here some cameras and watches and heaters and lights and laptops. And I have too many things at home here connected in my smart home. Yeah. But anyway, I can see my Synology. I can see some virtual machines running, because these are virtual machines running on my ESX server, which is connected on the Bitcoin LAN network. So the LAN, I call it LAN because these are wired connections. You can see that here at the right as well, that these are wired connections. And otherwise, if it's a wireless connection, you can see here, for instance, my Apple Watch. It's downloading most of the time. It's something about productivity. And so now I'm a little bit happy because I know that my watch is not downloading gigabytes of data in here. Yeah. And so I can see, where's the laptop of my daughter? The laptop. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not, she's physically today in at school. So her laptop is not here, because otherwise I would have seen here that she's doing productivity things, or that she's watching Netflix. Watch out, guys. I cannot see what she's watching at at Netflix, but at least I can see that she's looking, that she's streaming video, for instance. So you can see those things here. I should take a look at that, because my Chime doorbell at least is communicating with a website that is considered as being shopping. I don't know what they're ordering, but we'll see about that. Yeah, this is because Google bought it, of course. But anyway, you get some background information as well about the data, the traffic that is being consulted here. Okay. Always good to know. Networks that are active. So here I created my wired connection. Then I have also my wireless connection. And now it's really easy here to say, hey, let's create a wireless guest network. You got to give it a name, guest, whatever, something. It is an open network. No, you don't want that. You want maybe a portal that pops up, or you just put a password on there. Yeah, there are some options. Wi-Fi 5 or 6, optimize for streaming, limit the bandwidth usage. What are the IP addresses, the subnets that are behind there? Maybe you can schedule it so that they can only use that guest network between 9 and 5 during business hours, and not in the weekend, because in the weekend we're closed. And we don't want that there are people in the front of our store, for instance, that are located there just to use or abuse my guest network. We don't want that, only from 9 to 5, for instance. So, yep, you can schedule, you can even control which IP addresses that they can access, that they are not allowed to access. And you can drill down a little bit up to, you can see here how many traffic that was on there. So, just to give you an idea how easy it is to create additional networks in here. Like I said, yep, we support VLANs as well. So you just can create those additional networks in here as well. And then you can assign them to those wired or wireless ports if you would like that. So that's on the network. You get some visibility there as well. And then finally on the applications. So here you can see, yep, I know, guys, I have some servers connected to this, and sometimes have to download software as well. So, but you can see perfectly here, shopping, lifestyle, business and economy, utilities, web, and so on and so on. So you can see, analyze the traffic in here as well. Okay, so there you go. So this is the portal. This is what you can expect. And so now there's one more thing that I want to show you, because I deployed an instant on network already. So if I have a new AP now, it's hard to create a new network because I have one already. So I would need a new internet connection. So what I'm going to do is a new deployment of a network. Just go take a look at the videos of the challenges that exist out there. Look for Michael Noppe with his French fries competition compared to deploying that access point. What I'm going to do now is, let me take a look if this works. Okay, so now normally you should see my portal, and you can see that I have down there somewhere there. That's my finger, right? So there I have a new switch, an 8-port switch, and I have an access point. Okay. And as you can see, they're out of the box default factory settings. Why? When you plug them in, yeah. So this access point, that's an AP22 Wi-Fi 6 access point. Yeah, I'll show it to you. There you go, right? And so it's blinking orange and red, which means that it's discoverable. And the switch at the right, you can see also orange-green alternating, which means as well that it's up and running, but it's not configured. And so what I'm going to do now is, so I go to my inventory. So you can see also normally my web browser, right? The portal. I can do the same thing on my application on my smartphone. I go to inventory. I have my 6 devices with my topology map. So take a good look at the topology map. I go to devices, I click add devices, and then I say search for my devices. And there you go. He found really quickly, he found an 8-port PoE switch 1930 and an AP22. And now guys, what do you think? What do I need to do? Just click add devices. And now he's asking me, hold on, I have 2 devices. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't care. But I have those devices. I select one or I select both. I click accept. And so now please allow some time for the instant on devices to be configured. And so now you will see that my 6 devices start to synchronize their configuration with those 2 devices. And now you will see as well on the lights, yeah, that the green orange alternating lights, now they are synchronizing the configuration. So they are doing the config. I don't have to do anything. And so now you will see that I have a new 8-port switch. I can give it a name. This is my 8-port switch demo for tech data. I click save. And then I have also here that access point, which is an AP22. Yeah. Okay, and I can give it a name as well. So I call it AP Wi-Fi 6, whatever something, you can change it afterwards. And I click save. And so now you will see that it's still synchronizing. And because I changed the name, it's also synchronizing. But now you can see that I just upgraded my network with 2 more devices, a wired and a wireless device. Yeah. And meanwhile, guys, probably you noticed, but yeah, my arm is not long enough because it's behind my office desk there. But you will see that now that green-orange alternating light is just steady green. And steady green means that it's online with power. And the second one is that the wireless network is active. Okay. And also I can plug in now more devices on that switch. Okay. And so now I get more information about the ports that are being connected. So here it's a 100 megabit connection. I can tell you that's my printer. Port 8, that's my uplink cable to my bureau switch, right? And then port 1 is connected to my AP Wi-Fi 6, which is my AP22.6. And so now if I'm going to take a look at the topology, so now you will see that I have now my bureau switch with that other switch demo behind it. And on that demo switch, I have an access point 22 connected on it. And now it's a matter of time. I tried this yesterday evening. It went quite quickly, but you will see that at one moment in time, it will happen a few minutes. But now if I go roaming around, he will start spreading clients so soon, probably, if I'm lucky, or if I recreate maybe a wireless connection, because if I take now on my smartphone and I'm gonna disable my Wi-Fi and then I'm gonna reconnect my Wi-Fi. Well, it depends because my 2 access points are really at 2 meters from me. So, but now my device will make connection to that one. And so there you go. I just upgraded my wireless network here with Wi-Fi 6. How hard was it, guys? If you want, I can make a video here now with making French fries or waffles, or maybe drink a beer. I challenge you, one of you guys with a duvel here, drink a duvel at the same time when I'm upgrading my network here with more gigabit ports and Wi-Fi 6. Yeah, unless you're a good drinker, then maybe, hey, that's a good idea. Michael, when you're there, maybe that would be a good video that we can do as well, of course. Because by the way, this is my demo. There's nothing more to do. I can show you some things now here about account management, or a little bit about the notifications. There's something about the site management. So there you go. Here is something about the email addresses, and here you can see the software updates. So I am already running the latest version, and then you can say, okay, Sunday night at 3 a.m. At that moment, definitely everyone is sleeping. So at that moment, if there is a software update, at that moment, you're gonna do the update for me. So I don't even have to schedule some time at my customer environment on site to do the update, because it will update automatically. You can here create a guest portal. Yeah, there you go. So you can change the text, you can put a logo on there. So all this is included in the solution. Okay. And the last thing is, because this is something that I cannot do because I have an instant on network already, just to give you the experience. This is, by the way, what you can see in the video from Michael. I'm going to open up the web browser in big again. So there you go. This is what you need to do to set up a site. You select the topology. Do you want to deploy an access point, a switch, or a combination of switch and access point? Yeah, okay, just a customer with APs, no problem. What about the connectivity? That AP, is it connected through a switch, or is it directly connected at definitely those really small offices, a doctor's office maybe, and you plug it in directly into the router, the internet connection? Nope, there's a switch and a router in between. I click continue. You plug in the device, and then you have to wait until that alternating green, orange, which you were seeing on my second webcam. And then what you need to do, there you go. Because this PC is wired, this is not wireless. If I would have had a wireless device, or if I was doing this on my smartphone, at that moment, he would be discovering that device remotely. Now, what do I need to do? I just have to enter the serial number, which is just a sticker on the AP. So when you take a look at the AP, there's a little sticker on there with the serial number. I just have to type it in now because I am wired with my PC. If I would have been in my smartphone in the application at that moment, he would find that access point through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. At that moment, I enter the serial number, and then you see here grayed out, there's just one thing about the network, because you have to create an SSID. Just give it a name, that network, Bitcoin in my case, just give it a name, the name of the SSID with the security. With a password, WPA3 or 2, with a password on it. And then you have to select the country. That has to do with regulations, the power of emission of that access point, and then you are ready. So in total, it takes less than making French fries. Sorry, Belgian fries. Yes, that's the whole idea. And this is the experience with the Aruba Instant On portal. And with the application, it's exactly the same. Okay, guys? Let me take a look on the timing, because I promised you, of course, the last information, and there's some time for Q&A. But where do you get started? ArubaInstantOn.com. This is the place to be, where you can find all the information. And I'm gonna show it to you. By the way, I'm gonna change my web browser again. So there's my web browser. So you have that portal website for administration, and you have the traditional website. There's plenty of information, videos, access points, switches, how it works, getting started. Yes, there are third-party integrations as well available. And now for you, you will see that there is some information on the support, and also about the community. Okay, so definitely here on the community, you will find plenty of videos how to get started with the application, with the wizards on APs and wired connections. And there's that community with all, you can ask yourself a question, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And really fast, you get an answer on here, just like with the Airheads community with Aruba Enterprise, okay? On that community, on that website, you will find that Instant On 2.2 blog, which is the update release notes of that latest 2.2 software update. And like I just showed you, you can find all the documentation as well on that website. Okay. And if you want more information, I assume that you are HPE partners. Of course, well, at that moment, know as well, this is my advice, not only for Aruba Instant On, but know that there is a website called AFP, Arubapedia for Partners. I assume when you're doing business with Aruba already that you have access to it. You can go there through the partner portal, so the HP partner portal. You can find that link there as well. But at the end, the link is afp.arubanetworks.com. And this is where you can find all the information. So not only on Instant On, but also on the other Aruba, the enterprise products with Aruba Central and Airwave and all the others. But now if you go in here, and I told you, I promised you, if you're a salesperson, sales essentials. If you're a technical person, well, there we have the production, the products and the solutions. If you're more a marketing person, well, there's marketing information there as well. And then you go into the products and the solutions, and then you will see that there is something specifically about, this is what we're talking about, the other session in April, about ESP, data center networking, central location services, the big stuff, the enterprise stuff. But here under small and medium business, you will see that under SMB that you will find, for instance, the always on networking Aruba Instant On with more information. And so this is the last thing that I can share with you. So if you want more presentations, videos, banners, and so on, well, use cases, certification and training, well, there you go. Here on AFP, we have information for you for partner enablement. And also, if you want to show something to your customer, we have plenty of pictures and videos and data sheets and banners and whatever you want for social media and email templates in all the languages that you might desire, which are customer facing as well. Okay, product photos, there you go. All the information is there. And even then, if you cannot find it at that moment, guys, there's still us. There's still the HPE team. So I'm kind of proud that we have a really big HPE team that is there to help you. Okay, so probably you know Wim and Christophe and Steven, who are the experts. They are making for you the bills of materials, the Excel sheets, find the best price, the technical guys, and so on. I'm me, I'm the pre-sales guy. I'm thinking more about which solution is the best solution for your customer. Today, we have Danny and Peter, which are the specialized account managers. So all the non-technical stuff, they will take care of it as well. And Michael, which is now our Aruba Instant On expert as well, because he has beaten the Belgian fries context. Okay. Guys, thank you, because I see that, yes, it's almost the end of the time. But anyway, thank you very much. If there are questions, please let me know. Now I'm going to take a look in the Q&A now. And I just want to tell you, next week, we have a webinar about SA service. So Green Lake-alike thingies for those customers who want to pay per month and not upfront for 5 years. The week after, the 30th of March, there is a SimpliVity hyper-converged update session. Believe me, guys, there's a lot of things to say about SimpliVity. There's a new software version, there is new hardware. That will be an exciting session because there's so much to say about SimpliVity. The week after, no, sorry, 2 weeks after, because at that moment it is Eastern holiday, but just after the Eastern holiday, the 20th of April, we have an HP storage update session. with more storage updates about Nimble, MSA, Primera, other products as well. And then the week after, the 27th, we have an Aruba networking update. So that's an update session about everything of Aruba except Aruba Instant On. Okay, good. Thank you very much. I'm going to go through the Q&A now because I see that there are some questions. Thank you for your time. And there you go. I have a question about the APs. Will they work on older HP 1905 PoE layer 2 switches? As long as it's a PoE switch, yeah, why not? Yes, it will work. Of course, you don't have the complete integration with the user interface that I was just showing, but yes, it will work. Since it's layer 2, are there 2.5 gigabit ports available on switches? Well, this is 1 or 10. Okay, I know that in other switches we have also the 2.5 gigabit ports, not in this one. So this one is 1 and 10 gigabit. How do you create a manager account and sub accounts underneath? Well, I'll show you since this is live anyway. I'll go to my portal account and then I go to this one here. You see my email address. I go to account management. And so now here I can create one or multiple accounts in here. So this is, by the way, also the notifications. This is for my own account that I can do here now. So if I go to my site and then I go to site management, here in the administration, I can also add additional accounts. I can click here on this plus sign. Yes. And then you can create here an additional user account. Okay. So who is asking this, Patrick? I hope that this is an answer for you. So you just go to your site management under administration and you can add 2 additional accounts. You can go today up to 3 accounts, and then you can see even here transfer ownership if you as an IT partner wants to be the owner or if someone else wants to be the owner of the account. Okay. Very good. How can you remotely add a new app, a new AP? Okay, how can I do that? Well, it's quite easy. You just ship, hold on. You just ship this box. You can see it. That's an AP22. You just ship that box to your customer. He takes out the antenna. He puts in an Ethernet cable and he plugs it in a switch with PoE, of course. Now, ideally, it would have been already an Aruba Instant On switch, but it can be another brand of switch with PoE. And of course, the AP, you gotta have DHCP because that AP needs internet connectivity. He needs to be able to go to the internet. Well, at that moment, that AP powers on, and you will have that alternating light. And at that moment, you just add it to your configuration. Now, of course, if it's a new site, then it will be a little bit more challenging. Because if there's nothing, at that moment, yeah, you need the application ideally to be close with that AP. But as soon as there is already one switch, or something instant on, there is one AP and you want to add, at that moment, you can do it remotely without a problem. Okay, good. Another question about are the customers other sites with the same login credentials? Well, I can show you here. So I have in total 5 sites. Yeah. And they are all managed with my email address. And then if I go, for instance, to my friend Luc, at that moment for Luc, they have their own, they have a second email address as an administrator account. Okay, so that's the thing. So per I am the super admin with my bart@jungus.com account. I am the super admin of all those 5 sites. But then underneath that site, per site, I can create 1 or 2 additional email addresses of that person. Yeah. And then you can give them access to that one site, because of course I don't want that Look has access to those other sites, to my Wi-Fi, for instance. So it's per site that you can set user access and admin access. Okay. Okay, good, all good questions. Yes, thank you very much for that. Are we able to move a switch or access point to another site? Well, yes, but it depends. I have an AP and I want to move it to another site. So I have, yeah, if it's really, if how I understand it, really, I have an AP. Hold on here. There you go. No, connect to another site. So I have here 5 sites. And now I want to move that AP from my site to the site of Look, for instance. Well, technically, what do I need to do? Is that possible? Well, yes, of course it's possible, but there's one thing that you need to do, because that AP22 here, that AP Wi-Fi 6 is now linked to my instant on environment. So now what do I need to do? I go to actions, and by the way, I'm going to change because I have the setup. Hold on, this one. So let's take a look. What happens? You see my AP22 there, right? What do I need to do? I go to actions and I click on remove, because of course I need to remove it. If you want to put it in another site, it's another configuration with another administrator. So what do I need to do? I click on remove, and what will happen now? Well, that AP Wi-Fi 6, that AP22 will be removed from my configuration. So there you go. It's gone now from my site. And take a look at the lights. So now that AP is rebooting, it's factory defaults now. It's rebooting in factory defaults. And now it will take 1 minute, 1 minute and a half to boot up. But then you will see that it comes back online with the alternating green-orange light. And at that moment, if it has that green alternating, green-orange alternating light, at that moment, it is waiting to be discovered. At that moment, I send that switch to another site. And then the only thing that I need to do is back again, of course, in that other site here, like I have done in the demo, click add devices, search for my device. Well, now it will take some time because it's still not, it's just green blinking. So that means that it's powering on. But as soon as it's green, orange alternating back again, at that moment, I can add it back again in my current site or in another site. So I hope that this is an answer for you. And otherwise, yeah, just please put it in the Q&A window, of course. Right? But that's the thing that you need to do. And yeah, it takes 1 minute and a half to boot up back again. Then through DHCP, gets an IP address, he sends his information back out. And then you will see as soon as it's green, orange alternating, then I can discover it again in my current site or in another site, and then I can add it back again. Okay, good. I think that I answered all the current questions in Q&A. If there are other questions, please let me know. Yes, thank you very much, by the way. There you go, guys. Meanwhile, if you can see it, so you see the green-orange alternating light. And here in my web browser, the device is back again discoverable. And so now I can add it to my current site, or I can ship it to my friend Luke. He plugs it in his switch, and then I can add it in his environment, of course. Right? There you go. It's that easy. Okay. And so now back again, if I go to my devices, you will see that it's synchronizing its configuration again. And then as soon as the 2 green lights are on, that means that the Wi-Fi signal is active as well. Very good. Other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. I hope to see you soon again in the upcoming sessions, because there's so much information to share about HP. There are a lot of announcements happening at this moment at TSS this week. So thank you for your time. Yes, we will send out a copy of the presentation, and we'll stay in touch. Of course, stay safe, and hope to see you soon, one day or virtually, but I prefer, of course, physically as well. Have a great day. And I'll stay online for a few more minutes before I close the room for your last questions.